Hey, what's up everybody? Thanks for clicking on the video. This is David Pendleton, and welcome to the final round of the Valley of the Dead tournament. If you made it this far, that's awesome. Thanks for joining me. This is a very high scoring or very low scoring, however you wanted to take a look at it, tournament. So right now I have two accounts sitting at a minus 18, and then remember I took one of my other rookie accounts to the tournament as well, and that one's at a minus 17. So I've got a minus 18, minus 18, minus 17, but you can see the competition in Tier 3 is very strong. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Secondly, if you like my videos, please give it a thumbs up before you leave. And lastly, if you'd like to support my efforts throughout the tournament week and help me replenish some of these balls and practice tokens, you can always support my channel via the PayPal link below, and I'm truly thankful for anything that comes in. Let's go ahead and get this party started over here at hole number 1. So hole number 1, we're going to go with no moving target. We're going to go 10% at max. 3 bars of side spin to the right combined with 5 bars of top spin. Do not go more than 5 bars of top spin because you could run the risk of rolling into the rough here at the top of the fairway, and of course we definitely don't want to do that. We take a normal shot here, no overpower for the same concern. We just want to take a normal shot and then call it a day here until we go into shot number 2. Shot number 2 is playing pretty consistently. This one's been giving me trouble during the tournament, but thank goodness I was 2 for 3 on landing this eagle with perfect shots. And I did play it 25% at mid, 25% elevation at mid. I use a little bit more than, a little bit less than 2 bars of backspin, probably 1.7 back. I've got my ball guide line until it's nice and tight through the hole, and then I make my pull. Here, this is pretty lucky to have 2.2 mile per hour wind. I made it at 2.2, and I also made it at 2.9, and then I missed it at 3.7, I believe, was my miss. So, a little bit higher there as far as the wind goes. But the good news is, I'll take 2 for 3 on hole number 1, especially since it's been a little bit of a challenge for me on rookie and on pro. But here we go. You see we get this one to go into the hole, and then we're going to go ahead and head over to hole number 2. Hole number 2, we're going to play 10% at the minimum distance of our club. Remember, you have to use a marlin on this hole, and we're going to go ahead and favor the left-hand side of the pin. The only thing that we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit of top spin before we find our landing spot. You can play this with the sniper. You can play it with the viper. It's whichever one you want to do. You see here the wind is only 2.9 miles per hour, but I will show you one that's in the 5s. You can see there, ball guide line after spin is through the hole significantly because of a little bit of a headwind push. My green inner ring is on the rough line, and then like I said, ball guide line favoring the left-hand side of the pin. This one was 3 for 3 for me on perfect shots. Unfortunately, the account that is sitting at a minus 17 hit this ball great. And I say 3 for 3 because once I found the correct position in practice mode, I was able to get this thing to go down. Wish I would have hit perfect on this hole on all my accounts because then I would have 3 accounts at a minus 18. But we take the good with the bad. All right, there is again. Here's another shot at it. This is 5.1 miles per hour. This is going to be with a viper instead of the sniper. Both clubs played the exact same. We add a little bit of top spin. We go ahead and put our green inner ring at the top of the rough there. And then we put our ball guide line, as you'll see here, through the left-hand side of the hole. Just like that. Pretty easy. Another perfect ball, and you'll see it does exactly what we want it to do. We clip the rough, we get a nice smooth roll towards the pin, and even in the high wind, we're still coming in at center of cup. So we feel good about hole number 2. Takes us to hole number 3. Hole number 3, I picked up the albatross on each of my accounts, so this shot is also very consistent. 5 bars of top spin, 3 bars of side spin to the right. Again, do not go more than 5 bars of top spin because if you do, shot number 2, you're not going to be able to play with your sniper. You're more than likely going to get caught in between clubs. You can play this hole right here with the sniper or with the horizon. You can play whichever club you want to. One account, I do not have a sniper, so I have to play with the horizon. And the setup was the exact same on both accounts. Again, we don't want a lot of distance on this drive. That's very important. So I always set this hole up right here as well with my red ring basically all up at the top of that fairway there. Okay, then we take that normal shot and we're good to go. Shot number 2, minus 10% at minimum. Okay, this shot is basically being played just like we did on hole number 2. So we're going minus 10%. We're going at minimum distance of our club. We're setting our spins first and then finding the landing position. The spins is going to be 3 bars of side spin to the left combined with about 2.1 to 2.2 top. You're going to notice here we're going to be playing higher up on the rough than we normally do, but that's okay. Wiggle around until you find the sticky spot, and then I zoom in here so you can see the landing position. Notice my ball guide line is in the cup through the pin, but definitely on the left-hand side of the cup. Here, again, we make the minus 10%, so we're playing this shot as if it's uphill. That's just the way this ball is rolling out of the rough and towards the pin. And then again, for me, I hit this on all 3 of my accounts today, 1 with the Horizon and then 2 with the Sniper. You can see here that top spin speed is perfect. We pick up the juice to get to the hole, and we're good to go. That'll take us here to hole number 4. Hole number 4 is the more difficult one. I was lucky and picked it up on 1 account with a great shot, so that doesn't really count. So I'm going to show the perfect shots here. All right, now you will need yourself a good level Goliath in order to pull this shot off. If you don't have a high level Goliath, then you're probably going to have to play with the backbone shot that I posted in the qualifying round. So it is a different wind angle, but it is another alternative to playing this hole, especially if you're scared to take the rough bump. But this is the final round. If you have a high level Goliath, you need to take the rough bump shot and get used to it, because it absolutely gives you the best chance to pick up the hole-in-one on this hole. Here we're going to go with full top spin minus 1 bar with 1 ball of side spin to the left. Take a note here, I am aiming through the pin right-hand side of the cup. Using a Titan ball because in the headwind we just do need that little extra power. We normally play this hole with a katana when possible. You see here this is a very small ring adjustment. It does look as if I underpowered this shot just a tad, which is my Achilles heel in the game, and it did cost me. Ball guideline is absolutely perfect. We love the speed. We love the way the ball comes towards the pin. We hate the speed, I should say. But I did underpower my shot. I do feel with a normal shot there, that ball looks like it's going into the hole with just a click more power. So hole number 4 also looks good, but it is one of the more difficult holes to pick up a hole-in-one on, especially depending on players' clubs. Now we'll go to hole number 5, where we do not need adjustment. We have beautiful wind here. I mean, essentially, once we find our landing spot, we're getting perfect tailwind. If you're an extra mile level 9 a player, you are not going to use full topspin, okay? You're going to cap yourself at 6 bars of topspin. You're going to use 2 bars of side spin to the left. And yes, you could do this shot with a katana. You could do this shot with a Titan. You could do this shot with a berserker. It's up to you. The lower the power ball, the more overpower you're going to need. For me, with a berserker here, you're going to notice I'm only overpowering through the bottom teeth there. If you notice, look at the bottom of my ball. You can still see some blades of grass between the bottom of my ball and the top of the blue adjustment zone there at the bottom. So this is not much overpower. This is barely any overpower. We get a great needle speed, and you're going to see here, we come very close to picking up a hole-in-one here on hole number 5, and that would have been pretty sweet if that would have happened. I came very close on each one of my accounts, just couldn't get it to the right-hand side there. Maybe I could take some left side spin off, but I'm not trying to get too greedy, okay? Again, you can play this hole basically with every ball you want. I would start at a katana, Titan, or berserker. It's up to you. Just to lower power balls, you're going to need a little bit of overpower, so I would definitely take a ball to practice mode if you're not copying this shot, just to make sure that you have the OP right and you don't go flying through the green to the back of the rough. All right, hole number 6. Hole number 6, this is a no moving target drive until we go to pull our rings. I am playing this hole very dangerously on the drive, just because obviously now I'm playing to win the tournament. So, The most ideal situation on hole number 6 is to get the ball as far on the right-hand part of the fairway as possible. But we have 2 sand traps to deal with, so it's a little bit risky. But for me, like I said, I'm pushing it. I'm doing a no moving target, 10% at max. If you're scared you're going to hit a great right, which would put you in the sand, you can go ahead and move your target over to the left a little bit, okay? But here I'm going to go 6 top, 3 bars of side spin to the right. And then I make my adjustment here, which again is going to be 10% at max. You can notice I'm playing right up on the sand line. Thank goodness on none of my accounts I didn't hit a great right. I actually hit perfect on all of my drives, which put me in the zone to pick up an albatross, which you'll see the replay here. But you can see there, like, you know, we're a good distance away from the sand traps with a perfect ball. A great right, I do fear, could put you into the sand trap. So, you know, figure out however you want to play that one. Obviously, completely up to you. 25% at mid distance of my club. Here I'm going to apply some spins until I got the ball guideline going nicely through the hole, just because of the headwind push. There is a long landing spot here from rough to green. So I just got to make sure that I account for that with topspin and making sure that my ball guideline is nicely through the hole, as you'll see here. Perfect ball, and this one does go into the hole for the albatross on hole number 6. Now keep in mind, if you have lower level clubs and you don't have, you know, a sniper 9 or 10, you're probably going to have to play this hole with a big dog, like I did on my other rookie account where I did not pick up the albatross. But, you know, you go with the max backspin shot and just land your ball very nicely onto the green for an eagle. That's obviously if you don't have a sniper, like I said. I'll take us here to hole number 7. Hole number 7, this is the first time that we're playing this hole with elevation this high. We've been playing it, I believe, 0 to 10%. Now we have to bump it all the way up to 20%. This is why it's important to watch each video, if you have the time and ability to do so, of each wind angle, because although the tee is the first tee and we're using the same ball, sometimes depending on wind push, we have to add elevation to our shot. I'm going to go ahead and continue, though, with the 2 bars of side spin to the left, combined with about 1.3 to 1.5 backspin. I'm looking to have my green inner ring on the rough line, and you can see here, ball guideline through the pin, but we are favoring the left-hand side. So I would say there about most of my ball guideline is inside the cup with a little bit of it outside the cup. This is only 2.2 mile per hour wind, so this is obviously the lowest that we're going to get with the Katana and Rookie, but I was able to pick this up in the 2s and in the 3s, so the shot is playing very consistent. I did pick up the hole-in-one on all 3 of my accounts. And you see there, we basically come in exactly where we aimed because we didn't get a wind push. But whenever I had this one at 3.2 miles per hour, of course, we received a little bit more wind push, and the shot came in dead center pin, so you ought to be good there. This will take us to hole number 8. This is, of course, a replay from a different tournament. We are getting tailwind on hole number 8, so the most ideal situation is for us to take a berserker and let it launch up the second fairway. If you don't have the club or ability to do so, I wanted to show you an alternative route. The only thing different is this is tailwind from right to left. The tournament hole today is tailwind from left to right. Very, very small differences. It's not going to make any difference on the drive. Here, my suggested route is, if you don't have a berserker, is to go ahead and go with the Titan and go ahead and go with your big topper. We make our 10% adjustment, and then we do go ahead and push back up to max. So, and also we're using half a ball of overpower. Here, I hit a perfect shot. Now, look how close we come to hitting the sand. I've pointed this out before. So make sure that you take a little bit of OP off that drive, because you don't want to drive that one into the sand. Here we're going to play shot number 2, 10% elevation. Looks like here I'm at max distance of my club, so I'll use enough backspin to get the ball guideline again nice and tight to the hole. Again, this is not from today's tournament. This is a very similar wind angle, though. I'm just showing an alternative route if somebody doesn't have the berserkers or the powerful club to get up to do this shot. But this is how I'm playing it today. We're going to go with the Zerk, and then we're going to go 6 bars of topspin, 2 bars of side spin to the right. I would feel comfortable saying that if you have an extra mile 9 here, you probably wouldn't be able to get away with playing a max topspin shot. Notice here that I did not go full overpower. I'm overpowering until the bottom of my ball is touching the bottom of the yellow adjustment target like that, combined with a little bit of curl to the right, but not a ton. I do hit a perfect ball here. I hit one perfect, I hit one minor great left and one minor great right, and everything worked out perfectly. It was good to go. Sometimes you get a stronger rollout onto the fairway and up more towards the fringe area. Whatever club you use, it doesn't matter. I have this wedge on this account. I used an Endbringer on another account, and I used a Firefly on my newer rookie account. Everything was max topspin, ball guideline going directly through the center of the hole. No need to adjust for elevation. This is basically just find your landing spot, point, and shoot. And then all 3 balls went into the hole with the same setup. So, as you can see here, dead center. That'll take us into the last hole. The game did finally give us headwind on rookie. Now, here is the deal. I am only going to show you the safer option, which is going to be the quarterback shot, and then we go for the Goliath rough bump. I did have opponents, 2 opponents actually, that had extra mile level 8s, just like I do. They were able to still take the Berserker and launch the ball up the fairway like I've been playing all tournament long. I will tell you, though, they both hit perfect shots, and they both barely rolled out of the rough. And one of the opponent's shots was in the lower 3s, and the other one was in the mid 3s as far as mile per hour. I would say if they would have had anything in the 4 or 5 mile per hour headwind range, they would have not have rolled out of the rough. So keep that in mind. I'm going with the safe shot. Let's go with the quarterback. 4.5 bars of top spin if you have it. If not, you have 4 or whatever you have. We're going to go ahead and start up here at the +6 or +7 yard mark. And then we're going to go 3 bars of side spin to the right, like I said, combined with 4.5, or with, what would I do here? Okay, yeah, I was going to say, I thought so. 4.5 top. I start the +6 yard mark just so that I know when I go to pull my rings here, I don't pull into overpower. I just pull into a normal shot, and then I can take a normal shot here without using OP. And then as far as my curl goes, you're going to notice here that I curl until the left-hand side of my ball is basically right outside of the adjustment window. So the left-hand side of my ball is touching the left edge of the blue adjustment window zone there. And I hit a perfect ball. That'll leave us for shot number 2. Again, I hope you subscribe. I hope you hit that thumbs up. And I hope I've done a great job for you by serving you up some fantastic shots in the tournament. If that's the case and you have the means to do so, again, any PayPal donations to my channel really helps support what I do. All right, let's go. Here we go. 20% at max. Here's the deal with this shot. It's going to be very difficult to learn off of. I mean, seriously, I've got a wind at 1.9 mile per hour. So very, very low. Here, I essentially pull this one 20% at max, I believe, which is 1.2 rings. I know that I pull at 1.2 rings. I even offset a little bit here to the left-hand side. Not much, you know, just a little bit. Completely ball guideline in the hole, but favoring the pin. Favoring ball guideline completely in the left-hand side of the hole, I should say. Left-hand side of pin. So here, a very minor pull. 1.1, 1.2 rings, something like that. I do hit a perfect ball. Now, you'll see here, we have a lot of rough to work with, so the rough bump is safe. It comes in a little bit fast, but I miss it to the left-hand side. So we need to take elevation off of this shot. We might even want to play at 0% since there's not a lot of difference between, you know, the Goliath rings. You have to really mess around with the elevation quite a bit to pull more or to pull less. All right, that's the front 9. I'll start playing the back 9 now. I appreciate everybody watching.